Welcome to this specially commissioned series on the greatest rugby teams of all time. I'm Gordon Bray, the voice of Australian rugby, and in past episodes we visited the 2015 All Blacks who triumphed at Twickenham in the World Cup final over Australia, and what an exit it was for skipper Richie McCaw and also Dan Carter. We also visited the 1984 Grand Slam Wallabies, coached by Alan Jones, skippered by Andy Slack, and spearheaded by Mark Ella, who gave the performance of his life to get a personal Grand Slam of tries in all of those 4 Test matches. And also in our second last episode, we visited the 1994 Tour of New Zealand by the great French team skippered by Olivier Roumard, that man mountain in the second row. And they produced that try from the end of the earth in the dying stages when Jean-Luc Chardonnay, the fullback, touched down after the movement started on the French goal line. And that French team is the last side to beat the All Blacks in a series on New Zealand soil. And our very first episode featured that great British Lions tour of South Africa in 1971, when we had the likes of JPR Williams, Barry John, Gareth Edwards, and also Mervyn Davis, some iconic names of international rugby. But this week we are looking at the greatest schoolboy rugby team of all time, and it's come down to 2 for my choice. Firstly, the 77-78 Australian schoolboys, with the 3 Ella brothers, Michael Hawker, Tony Melrose, Michael O'Connor. Wally Lewis couldn't even get a run in the starting team. And the other main contender, Newtown High School, the under-16 team that won the 1971 Grand Final. Look, it was a very tough call, but in the end I came down to individual performers. I had to pit Rob Black at scrum half against Dominic Vaughan, and I just nudged Rob ahead. And then in the centres you've got Chris Paul, the skipper, and Ronnie Plummer against Tony Melrose and Gary Ella, with Wally Lewis coming off the bench. And I've got to say, Chris, with his blockbusting performance that day, his inspiration as captain, and then with Ronnie also penetrating the Taroona backline in the midfield, that certainly gave them the edge. And then you had exciting wingers Rocky Ferrer and Mark Webster to really finish things off. So I think the backs from Newtown High certainly had an edge over the invincible schoolboys. And look, you can't talk about winning games without a forward pack. And I've got to say, Tim Oxley, as the vice captain of the side, was a fearless leader. This team was brilliantly coached by Simon Boss Walker. The fact that they got through to the grand final unbeaten and then were able to finish off so brilliantly, it really is credit to the forward pack. The scrum was absolutely dominant. Barry Woods, Ken Mackay and Rob Kirsten, they were a bulletproof platform for the backs. Lucky never shut up, but I think that's the right of any scrum half. It's only fair that the scrum half has an overinflated perception of self-importance. That's the nature of the beast. And the lineouts, well, I think that thanks to some very careful codes and obscure algorithms developed, certainly Newtown were able to dominate the lineouts as well. But I think the key point was half-time, when Tim and Lee Seeley decided that the hooker would throw the ball into the lineout. And I've got to say that subsequently this practice was adopted by the International Rugby Board. So just think, it all started on that lovely winter's day in that southwest breeze at university by the Newtown High under-16 premiers. The final score was 19-4 for Newtown over Taroona. A huge margin? No, but certainly a very convincing one, and I think that score flattered Taroona. When looking at best players, I'm going to avoid that because this was a consummate team performance. So congratulations to Newtown High, and when you guys step out of your bubble later this afternoon or this evening, I'm still sure you will be striding 10 feet tall. And congratulations on this elongated title as the greatest schoolboy team of all time. I'm Gordon Bray, the voice of rugby, and congratulations to the boys of the Blue Triangle.